You want to scale your investing business? You want to take things to the next level? Well, where do you start? You start at the beginning. So we got to figure out where you're at before we can figure out how you're going to get where you want to go. So let's start there.
This is the Investor Mindset Podcast.
So when we're building our business, it's really, really important for us to figure out which are the areas of our business that are strong. Which are the areas that you're the best at? Which are the areas that you're already succeeding at? And which are the areas that maybe you're weak or you need some help or you need some guidance or some consultation? Well, the same goes true in your life. And when we tighten up some of those areas in life, we end up seeing big returns throughout our entire business, throughout our personal life, and throughout the energy that we have, which allows us to go out and do more things. But let's start with business first. So there's this concept, I call it life categories. They are the categories that are most important to you in your life. And once we can get clear on what those categories are and we can start building a plan within them about how we're going to improve them, how we're going to make sure we're continuing to support them and keeping them in the right priority level for us and where we're at in our life, we're going to start seeing big changes. And looking at business, it's the same thing is true. So our business life categories are powerful. And when we break them down into just a standard set of business life categories. Every business is going to have their own, but for a standard set, we're going to have things like marketing and lead gen, sales and negotiation, accounting and finance, HR and team building, operations. These are the basic categories or the basic departments that run any business. And within any business operation, we have to be able to check in and measure how are we doing in these different areas. It is absolutely critical that we're able to check in on a regular basis because the more times that we check in, the more opportunities that we have for feedback, the more opportunities that we have to make a change in that area. So if we're checking in weekly, we have 52 times a year to make a change. If we're checking in monthly, we have 12 times a year to make a change and pivot. And if we're checking in daily, we have 365 days to make a change. And so depending on the area of your life or business, it depends on what is the right level of check-in. Now, I think from a life category standpoint, checking in every day might be a little bit much, but weekly is something very achievable and monthly is absolutely achievable. But in business, some of the activities that are going to happen might be best if we're checking in and managing them on a regular basis. And so it is critically important that we are very clear on what it is that we're measuring, how we're going to go about measuring that, and then actually doing the exercise of figuring out where we're at and how we're doing. So a quick introduction to life categories, and then I'm going to just talk you through really quickly the importance of the measurement process. I'm going to include a link to the masterclass. I'm going to encourage you guys to go check it out and walk through the exercise because we've put together a pretty in-depth exercise that's going to help you get this clarity that you really want. So on the life category standpoint, these are all things that you guys are going to think, yeah, obviously those are important to me, but how focused are you on each of these right now? In life, some categories include health, finance, friends and family, love and romance, fun and adventure, career, spirituality, and the list could go on, or you could condense it down to an even simpler version depending on what is most important in your life today. So that's what you have to figure out is what's most important. But if we just start with these basics, if we start with the standard set of categories, I'm going to encourage you guys that even if you don't jump into the masterclass, I'm going to encourage you guys to write down the categories for yourself on a piece of paper. If you happen to be driving when you get to the next location, I encourage you to just pull out a quick paper, take 5 minutes and do this exercise and just check in for yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. How are you doing in this area? How satisfied are you in the area of marketing in your business right now? How is it performing? How about sales? How about finances and accounting? How about operations? How about team building and HR? If we can check in on these areas of our business and figure out how are we doing, we're going to really quickly identify where are we weak. And then by figuring out where we're weak, we're able to start making decisions on, is this something that I need to prioritize fixing? Is this something that I need to prioritize making a difference right now. So I am going to really encourage you guys, head over to theinvestormindset.com/values, jump into the masterclass. We're going to dive really deep into this, but I want you guys to shoot me a message on Instagram at Steven.Pesavento. Tag me in your story and let me know if this was valuable. Let me know if you have a set of life categories and how you're doing. And I want to challenge you guys right now to take yourself to a next level, to commit to one of these areas that you're going to improve on. If we've just checked in and figured out that, right now I'm really strong in business, but I'm weak in my relationship, and I know that bringing that up to the next level is going to make a difference, I'm going to encourage you to focus there. But if I'm strong in family and friends and fun and all these areas are good, then maybe I need to be focusing some of my energy on finance or my business so I can really start taking things to another level. And then through this process, I want you guys to reflect on, what areas am I weak, or what areas do I not have the skill set necessary for me to really be able to strengthen this area? And I'm going to challenge you to go out and find a mentor, go out and find a coach, go out and find a book, a podcast, a webinar series, something that you can learn from to strengthen that area for yourself, or go hire a consultant who's going to be able to bring those skills in day one and help you really move forward. So with that, I want to encourage you guys to go live a life worth inspiring others, and you can do that today. And one of the first steps is figuring out where you're at so that you can really put a plan together of how you're going to get where you want to go.
Thank you for listening to the Investor Mindset Podcast. If you like what you heard, make sure to rate, review, subscribe, and share it with a friend. Head over to theinvestormindset.com to join the Insider Club, where we share tools and strategies from the top investors and entrepreneurs on how to take it to the next level.